modding tutorial for Minecraft 1.3.2. This is SciGuy1121 and let's go ahead and get started. So, let's jump back into the isEntity class. We started it in the last tutorial. We got all this code in and that was 20 minutes and we're not even halfway done. So this will be a pretty long tutorial and I may even need to make part 3. So let's just jump right in. Anyway, so we just finished is burning. Let me find this on my notes. Get burn time remaining scaled. Okay, there we go. So now we need a pretty long method, and that is public void update entity. No parameters. Okay, inside the method we want boolean is burning equals this dot furnace burn time is greater than 0. So if the furnace burn time is greater than 0, and I misspoke boolean, then is burning equals true. Oh god. Okay. I'm uploading a short little video I just made about a little file size converter thing, so my computer may lag a little bit more than usual because it's using up RAM and all that. So anyway, now we want boolean var2 equals false. I don't know what this one does yet. I'll try to figure that out as I go. Now we want if this dot furnace burn time greater than 0. So if it's burning, then subtract this dot furnace burn time. So basically, subtract a tick from the burn time. Now, if not this dot world object dot is remote, if this dot furnace burn time equals 0, and this dot can smelt, and that must be a later on method. Oh, yeah, it is. So we'll fix that later. Then this dot current item burn time equals this dot furnace burn time equals get item burn time. This dot furnace item stacks 1. Alright, now we want another if statement. If this dot furnace burn time is greater than 0, and I don't see how this is working, but then var2 equals true. And if this dot furnace item stacks 1 is not equal to null. So if it exists, then subtract this dot furnace item stacks dot 1 dot stack size. So that's how you subtract the stack size from our inventory slot. Now, another if statement. If this dot furnace item stacks 1 dot stack size is less than or equal to 0, then item var3 equals this dot furnace item stacks 1 dot get item dot get container item, and I I hope I didn't mess anything up there. Not minus, equals. And this dot furnace item stacks 1 equals var3 not equal to null question mark. And oh god, this is a weird if statement declaration. I've never worked with this kind of if statement declaration. I'm actually, for this method, I'm using the code directly from the furnace. So I've never used this sort of if statement declaration. And we just want new item stack var3 colon null. So if any of you know basically what this kind of declaration statement is, then please put it in the comments below, and I'll know, and other people who read the comment will know, and all that, because that is confusing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Now we want another if statement. If this dot is burning, and this dot can smelt, then plus plus this dot furnace cook time if this dot furnace cook time equal 200, then this dot furnace cook time equals 0, this dot smelt item var2 equals true. So as I said, it's a long method. We're almost done here, though. So now, else this dot furnace cook time equals 0. So now, if and this is burning. Oh, darn. You know what? No. Okay. So if is burning not equal to this dot furnace burn time greater than 0, then var2 equals true. Okay, now under this we want block furnace dot block red furnace dot, and actually no, I'm just not gonna do that, because that that piece of code, if you wanted to have a furnace with multiple textures, you would do block your furnace name dot update furnace block state. I'll cover that in a later video, actually, because it is a lot of stuff you need to do with the red furnace class and all that. Anywho, now, just outside of this, if var2 equal true, but you don't need to put the equal true, then this dot on inventory changed. So just update the tick. Okay, so that is the end of probably one of the longest methods in here. Now, we want private, boolean can smelt. So that should get rid of this error, and actually we need those. Okay, now we want if this dot furnace item stacks 0 equal null, then return false. Else item stack var1 equals, and actually I'm going to, never mind. We'll cover the red furnace recipes in a later video, but we'll do furnace recipes dot smelting dot get smelting result. This dot furnace item stacks 0 dot get item dot shifted index, and return var1 equal null. And here's that weird declaration of an if statement: false colon this dot furnace item stacks 2 equal null question mark true colon more parentheses that not this dot, I'm so scared I'm going to mess this up. I'm just going to copy this line of code from right here, this line of code, because it is important and I really don't want to mess it up anyway. So I'm just going to copy that in. Anyway, so that is a really long, really weird declaration of an if statement in one line. Again, if any of you know how that declaration of an if statement works, please put it in the comments below. Yeah. Okay, now we want public void smelt item. And this is if this dot can smelt item stack var1 equals furnace recipes dot smelting. I'm just gonna copy this line of code right here because it's the same. Just getting the furnace recipe result. If this dot furnace item stacks 2 equal null, then this dot furnace item stacks 2 equal var1 dot copy. Else if, not else is, this dot furnace item stacks 2 dot item ID equal var1 dot item ID. So just checking to make sure they're the same. Then plus plus this dot furnace item stacks 2 dot stack size. So basically this is just checking is this the same as the smelting recipe for the first inventory slot. So the inventory slots, if you had the furnace, so the one where you put in the stuff is inventory slot 0, fuel is 1, and output is 2. At least right now. Once we start adding more slots and all that, it'll get a bit more complicated. But that's the basic That's basically what I'm doing when I'm saying furnace item stacks 2, 1, all that. Okay, now we want minus minus this dot furnace item stacks 0 dot stack size if this dot furnace item stacks 0 dot stack size is less than or equal to 0. And then we want item var2 equals this dot furnace item stacks 0 dot get item dot get container item. This dot furnace item stacks 0 equals var2. Oh, great. Yay. Equals var2 not equal to null question mark new item stack var2 colon null semicolon. Yay, weird if statement declaration. Okay, end of that method. We've still got quite a bit to go, and it's been 17 minutes. So I'll probably have to make a part 3. But let's go ahead and get public static int get item burn time item stack iStack, and not dpublic, just public. Okay, and we want if iStack equal null, return 0, else, so basically if it exists, we'll do this, int var2 equals iStack dot get item dot shifted index, and actually I'm going to rename this to item, and then item var, actually item id item equals iStack dot get item. Now if item id is greater than 256 and block dot blocks list right here, item id is not equal to null, then we want block equals block dot blocks list and item id. And you know this isn't necessary. Yeah, it is. It is item. Okay. Now we want if block equal block dot wood single slab return 150. I'm not really sure what this is doing. I think what we're doing here is we're making it so that the wood single slab and the wood are just giving us a basic start for our fuels. So basically if we don't want to be able to power it with wood or wood single slabs, don't put in this code. Actually, I'm going to delete the wood and slab code, and I'm going to change this up to block material equal material dot wood, then return 300. So basically, if it's made of wood, then burn for 300 ticks or whatever that is. I must have messed something up in here. Let me make sure. Oh, great. You know what? Massive, long, weird if statement. So I'm just going to copy it. I will cheat and copy it and then I will explain it. So outside of these two, okay, and you know what? Actually, I'm just going to delete that. All of this. This will take a while. Okay, I'm going to delete this because basically this is giving us every single fuel in the game, and we only really want certain fuels. So we're going to change this up quite a bit. Return mod loader dot, and this will be iStack dot item ID, and it would have been iStack dot get item damage. Okay, so basically what that was doing is it was declaring every single possible fuel in the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and change it up. So what we're going to want is we're going to want to determine which fuels we want, which fuels we don't. So if iStack dot, and what was that? So okay. Let's see. How does this work? So var1. So return, and we'll say if item ID equal item dot col dot shifted index. We'll do return, and let's make everything in our furnace cook for twice as long. Actually, no, let's make it so that coal cooks for twice as long. So normally coal would be 1600. We'll make it 3200. And coal and wood will be the only two things that can be powered, that can power our furnace. So we'll say else return 0. Okay. So, was that supposed to? Okay. So, unfortunately, it's been 24 minutes, and we've still got quite a bit to go. Actually, you know what? We don't. We have 3 or 4 methods to go. So I'm just going to finish up real quick. This will be a bit of a longer video. So, public static boolean is item fuel, item stack, iStack, return get item burn time, iStack, greater than 0. Okay, okay, so now we want public boolean is usable by player, entity player, return this dot world object dot get block tile entity, and actually dot get block tile entity, and I misspelled return somehow again. Okay, and we want, oh god, this dot x chord. For part 2 we want this dot y chord, and for part 3 we want this dot z chord. And that's a weird if statement, so I'm just going to change this up a bit. So if if this right here is not equal to this, so if it's a different tile entity, then we want to return false. And sorry, else if and we want player dot get distance SQ, so player dot get distance SQ, and we want double this. Oh, why did it do that? I don't know. This dot x chord plus 0.5d. So this is basically just going through and checking to see how far the player is away. Double this dot y chord plus 0.5d, and double this dot z chord plus 0.5d, and we want is less than or equal to 64. You know, I think my notes are missing something. Is less than or equal to 64.0d. Return true. So that should else return false. There, that should work. Now, public void open chest parenthesis, and actually no, we don't need to add any of that. So our tile entity is completely done, and this is a 30-minute video, so this is going to be a massive Paint upload. However, let's just go ahead and change this up. So tile entity red furnace, tile entity red furnace, and tile entity red furnace. So now we should be able to, and this may not work as planned because we are missing the GUI class and all that, but if we click, then let me give myself some coal, charcoal, and iron ore. So if we put this in, charcoal doesn't work. to smelt it. Coal, you can see it's only allowing us to put in a stack of 16. We're having some difficulty with, as you can see, it's having some difficulty with smelting the actual item, so we'll need to fix that. But yes, so in the next tutorial, I'll talk to you guys about how to fix that, how to do the custom GUI so that we can get it to say red furnace instead of furnace, etc., etc. So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.